This is probably one of the most important things I can teach you this semester. It's called the Cornell note taking system. I'm going to talk a little bit about how to do the Cornell note taking system and why you should take the Cornell note taking system. I strongly recommend doing notes, and I'll explain why later. So, the idea is you'll have a piece of paper. On your paper, you'll have the top where you'll write the title. You'll make the date, the title of the lecture, who the professor is, and whatever book or pages you're doing. Then you'll have Q question. You'll draw like this weird looking eye. It's an off-centered eye. Over here, you'll write questions that the talk or the class or the book is making you think. Like, So if you're going to a presentation on note taking, a question might be, why should I take notes? Or what are the different styles? There's many different types of styles: brainstorming, webbing, Cornell, pictographs. There's lots of different types of notes. These were the note systems I was taught, and I really like them, and I think it's clean and it's nice. Um, Main notes, key thoughts. This is where you're going to write down all the dates, the years. You don't have to write with words. You can write pictures. You can write, arrows, and cause and effect is usually a line with an arrow in it. Things like that. This caused this. Things of that nature. And then a summary of what you covered on that page. All right. So, go away. Stop. So the Cornell note-taking system offers complete, compelling benefits that make it a viable tool for students to seek. So number one, it's a structured, organized format. It gives you a simple layout. We've talked about that, and the different parts and the sections. The other thing is it helps with active engagement. One of the key reasons I tell people to take notes is so people. I usually will ask my students, why you take notes. Oh, to study. True. To find answers. Okay. But the two that a lot of students don't write down, which I think are just as important, is number one, if you're taking notes, it's hard to fall asleep. Which kind of leads me to number two. If you take notes and you, A, don't fall asleep, and B, your teacher sees you, your teacher's going to like you more. So taking notes is a win-win-win kind of situation. Why are you paying for class if you're going to sleep? Just stay home, sleep. Don't stay home. Go to class. But take the notes, and you'll stay awake, you'll learn better, and your teacher will like you more, and your grades will be higher, and you'll get a letter of recommendation, and then you'll get a better job, and then you'll make more money, and then you'll have a better looking spouse, and then you'll have better looking kids, and your kids will one day be smarter and have better jobs and be able to take care of you when you're old. So taking notes is very important. Um, it's an efficient way of finding and being able to review your information. You can find it a lot better, especially if you're uh, very particular about writing down the dates and stuff like that. Um, you can be flexible. You can draw on it. You can write in it. You can spell it. You can make your own alphabet. Cuz, COZ, because things like that. You don't have to make it because you're the only one looking at it. You don't have to follow the rules. Ooh, you can incorporate visual aids or diagrams. Experiment with color coding, stuff like that. Some people like to have lots of little colors in their notebooks. I'm not, but some people do. Enhance comprehension. By taking notes, you'll be able to understand it at a deeper and better level. If someone asks you and you can look at your notes and explain it, you'll retain it better. All right, and it also streamlines the study process. If you take notes, it's already in your brain. But if you go back and look at your notes, they'll get into a deeper part of your brain. You're more into your long-term memory, which will cause you to have a better overview and be able to understand things a lot better. Always be willing to edit. Yes. Transferable skills. This is one of the things I want to stress to you guys. I want to stress to you guys very carefully about taking notes. This is something that a lot of people don't tell you about. As you get older, one of the worst things you're going to have to do is go to meetings. I like to volunteer in meetings to take notes. Why? Because if you're the person taking notes, you don't have to talk. Come closer. You don't have to talk. That means you can just write down the notes. Now you do have to take good notes, but that means when the boss or someone asks a question, they're not expecting you to answer. So you're not going to have to come up with anything or make a mistake. Let the other people make the mistakes. You just sit back, take the notes. Every once in a while, go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then make a little sound, but take the notes. And if you do it in Cornell notes, people will appreciate it because it won't look like you're a psychotic, crazed Unabomber, writing down like lots of crazy things. Having Cornell makes you look smarter, it's cleaner, your boss will like you, and people will appreciate you more. So, this is a very good video on how to take good notes using the Cornell method, but I just wanted to talk about why you should do the Cornell system. All right? I hope I've convinced you to take some notes.